Alright, as soon as I dropped in here, I put a red X down so I marked exactly where the center of the room is. I'm going to be putting down 2 markers right now. I want you to pay very close attention to them. Diamond and Moon. If you get selected for the blades that run, through the 2 people, 2 points make a line. Diamond and Moon makes a line. I want those blades going perpendicular across the line of the raid. We have ranged at X, and the boss will be tanked at Skull. Skull is right there. Okay? Is that too far away, guys, or is that good? Maybe right there? Yeah, it's fine.
That works better.
Alright. So, what that means is the blades are going across between the ranged and the melee stack. That way, if melee gets selected and ranged gets selected, they just have to move up like this. One of them can be here, the other can be there. It doesn't matter who's where as long as they're both lined up with that line. They can be standing right on top of each other for all I care, as long as the 2 points that make a line that goes perpendicular to the raid. Failure to do that is failure to ever be considered for the Mythic team. Well, okay, I shouldn't say that. Sometimes people make mistakes, but I've literally seen an entire heroic kill before where everyone screwed it up and it was like, oh my god, can we please get it right? When you get selected for that, you will see a large red arrow or chevron pointing down at your head. That means get the fuck out, get to these markers, and line up with the other person with the red arrow on top of their head. Failure to do that will cause the blades to go through the entire raid, and it makes the healing really difficult. Okay, so it's very, very important. Now, a tank will need to be cleansed every so often. Every time you cleanse them, you get something like 22 to 25 corruption. So here's what we do. When we get to 95% health on the boss, certain people are going to go into the dream, other people are not. I don't care if you're DPS and you're in the dream. You don't need to announce it. Keep comms clear. Don't say, Wexy is in the dream or Scissorp is in the dream. I don't need to know it. I don't care. The only thing that we need to communicate about who's in the dream is the healers. So, let's say Evamiri gets in the dream. He's going to say, Evamiri in the dream, I got Xanthios. He claims a tank. When a healer claims a tank, that means you don't fucking touch him. You don't dispel him ever. Right? Until you go in the dream, or the people in the dream change at around 65%. So Evamiri says, I got Xanthios. That means when Xanthios is taking the boss, and they taunt swap so that he can go out and cleanse, he's going to go out to blue. When he runs out to blue, he's going to say, cleanse Xanthios. He's going to say his own name and say cleanse in some order or another. When he does that, Evamiri will be the one to cleanse him. No one else will. Failure, if you cleanse him when in the wrong spot, I think it causes damage to the rest of the melee. That's why he has to get out to blue. You wait for him to call for it. You wait for him to ask for it. Right? So, let's say Blastaho, Chaos, and Vivica go into the dream first. It's probably going to be 3 people. Vivica says, Vivica, in the dream, I got Kin. And then Blastaho says, Blastaho, in the dream, I got Xanthios. And Chaos will be like, okay, I'll just be a backup. Don't say anything, just be a backup cleanser if needed, right? So that way if somebody dies or whatever. At 65%, we're going to be changing over who's in the dream and who's not. As healers, you need to make sure you're not taking excess corruption by standing on those guys that pop up from the floor. So you need to not just be focusing and tunneling on your healing meters or your healing raid frames. You need to be watching the floor. The floor will start like smoking, and there'll be like something under you. Make sure you have all enemy nameplates up. You'll see an enemy nameplate pop up underneath you in the floor before they pop up, so you can avoid them. If you soak those, you're soaking corruption, and that's bad for 2 reasons. One, it's pushing your corruption to 100 sooner than you need to. You need to have that corruption available to allow you to cleanse more often. And if you take any stacks of corruption from those guys that pop up on the floor, you won't be able to cleanse as much. Good thing we have a 3rd healer in each dream state to act as a backup. But furthermore, the people that are in the dream first, they want to get that corruption, so they push themselves out of the dream using the descent into madness. When we get to 100% corruption in the dream, we descend into madness and we do 150% extra damage for like 15 seconds. Then we get knocked out of the dream. We want to do that. We want to gather corruption. We want to soak those things that pop up. So get away from them. Healers soaking them is bad for both of those reasons. You're actually gimping our DPS in the long run, and you're causing yourself to not be able to cleanse as often in the long run. When we go into phase 2, hopefully we'll push it before we get a second ad. We're going to bring him to X. I want everyone to click on the boss right now. Don't right-click him and start the fight. Just left-click on him. See the big red circle under him? That's his targeting box there. Stand inside the red circle, unless you're soaking puddles from ads. I want everyone standing inside that red circle. I know there's some people that have this weird OCD thing about like being able to see their own toon and knowing where they are. Get inside the red circle, or else. Kill the ads as they're walking in. Knock them away if you can. If you're in the dream, soak it. Soak the puddles. Again, the people in the dream want to soak the puddles so that they can descend into madness and get knocked out of the dream after doing 150% burst damage for a little while. That's phase 2. Basically, it's killing ads. All range should be on ads. Melee that's in the dream should be on ads. Melee that's not in the dream should just be on boss. We want all the range to be on ads because we can reach them and, be like a fucking sprinkler system and just rotate and kill without having to move all over the place. Soak those puddles so they don't respawn. Once you see tentacles spawn, that is phase 3. The tentacles do not need to be DPS'd at all. We all stack under the boss at that point. Once all the walking ads, the walking nightmares or whatever, once they're dead and all the puddles of those are soaked, we pop hero, we down the boss. We ignore the tentacles and we just down the boss. That's pretty much it. Did I miss anything?
One question on phase 3. Do we bring him? Are you guys bringing him to X?
He's already at X from phase 2.
Oh, phase 2. Okay.